Hey, welcome to this episode of the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. So welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Environmental Freedom Thursday and traveling while we teach online for spiritual entrepreneurs. I'm all about life-work balance. So this podcast episode, if you are new to me, then it's very practical. We're journaling together, we're setting our vision together, we're setting intentions, we're living intentionally, and we are going to express gratitude together. We are going to play what I call the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, a soul income game. Together, we're going to visualize spending our vibrational money voucher on the vision that we have for environmental freedom. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to talk about the book that I listened to. I listened to it really, really briefly, actually. I was listening to it this morning, and I was like, okay, what do I want to cover? So usually, whatever I listen to, whatever is going on for me, my highs and my successes, my lows, whatever it is, I'll share. That becomes my conversation for today. So Atomic Habits by James Clear. The best way to start a new habit is what I was listening to just before coming live. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. I've listened to this book at least 8 times. And part of living an intentional life is actually, creating those habits intentionally in each area of your life with the Seven Freedoms Frequency. So if you are new, when I talk about the Seven Freedoms Frequency, it is about raising our vibration in 7 areas of our life. So that is contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, which is today, Thursdays, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom, right? So when I talk about each of the freedoms, they are actually connected, right? So our life is not in just isolation. So environment, traveling while we teach, and teaching online, those are 2 environments that I have on my vision board. But being new to the spiritual digital nomad world, I'm adjusting, and I'm recording the journey to adjusting. And I just got asked this question from someone who's new to my world. I've been chatting away. We met on the dating app. We've not met yet, but he's like, well, why didn't you just wait? And hey, say hey. And wherever you are, whether you're watching this on my YouTube channel, if you're listening to this, if you're watching in our community, on Twitter, wherever you are, then welcome. Do let me know where you're tuning in from in the world. And if you are new to me. So yeah, I got asked the question that why did you not wait to move into this phase of your life? Basically, not in those kinds of words. Like, I'm confused. And I'm like, so the environment that I was in, I was looking after 3 children I was fostering, right? And so that meant I had to pause my business. Don't know about you, but like, I couldn't juggle 3 children, under 5 twins, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and then do my work in the world, record, come on live. This is the business model that I wanted to have. And I'm a recovering perfectionist, but I knew that I couldn't do it. They needed me, and I needed to be there. I'd made that decision for family. And so when I had to make a decision to swap out my income and actually build my business online. Yes, I could have gone and got a job. I could have gone and done a lot of things, but I'd already done that. I'd done that, avoiding building my business by making a choice that made it suffer. And so I was like, I'm not doing that again. I refuse to do it again. So this is the path that unfolded. I wanted to travel anyway. I built my business to travel and to teach. And it was just jumping in on the deep end. And I'm not saying that everybody should do that, but that's where I'm at. And so a soul sister of mine, she has upped and she's gone to Dubai. And today I saw her live, and she's got into a different career path. And she said yesterday that on this video that she was having one of those days. It's like, remember your soul why. Remember your why. I say soul why. Remember your why. Remember your purpose. Remember why you're doing what you're doing. And that's it. As the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, I remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you have this vision on your vision board and you don't quite know how it's going to get there, sometimes it comes like, and it looks like chaos that's unfolding in your life. And it is a matter of trusting. It is a matter of remembering and having that faith. And so my soul daughter said to me today, she said, I trust it. I just trust it, because she was talking about something else, about her dog and stuff. And I was just saying to her, you know, try this, try that. And, you know, I said, you know, this is how we move, basically. Remember how we move. Like, yes, we can have worry and we can have low vibrational feelings, but we don't want to live there because it blocks us from moving forward. And she's making those decisions and taking those actions. And if you are at those, and we talked about yesterday, emotional freedom, moving up the emotional scale. So basically I was walking her through that without saying, I'm trying to move you up the emotional scale, right? And she said, you know, I just, she never doubts it. She never doubts what I say. She just doesn't doubt it. She see, and she can see my light. And I was like, my best friend said that to me. She said, I just trust it. And I'm like, wow, what an honor, you know, to be in the position that is, because I walk my talk, right? And I trust and I have faith in it. And I pulled some cards. I pulled 2 cards from Keepers of the Light, and I'll talk about those at the end. And so it's not easy, you know, this journey of, you know, learning to teach online. And I was recording today in the Soul Legacy Academy, and I was recording, and I was doing the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, tweaking it. And I'd set it up a while ago, obviously before the children came. And so going back in and recording, getting things set up. And I'm like, I'm just so grateful of the journey, for living intentionally and how it's unfolded. And now I'm coming on live and doing my live stream and doing, this is a video, YouTube video, and then it's a podcast episode, and then it's a stream in my Facebook group, and just being in all of these different environments and just having a conversation feels amazing, because there was a time where I didn't want to get on camera, didn't like my voice, like, and my accent, didn't want to, like, I didn't know how, didn't like marketing, didn't like the business, didn't like any of that. I just wanted to serve people. And now I teach to show up, speak out, and serve deep, but actually speak to, serve, and sign up your high paying soul clients and be ready for that. And so my friend that's in Dubai, I'm like, yeah, I want to have a retreat in Dubai. I've got that on my vision board. I don't know if I've got that one on my vision board, but I've got the Thailand one first, then the Dubai. And I wanted to be in different locations. And so when somebody says to me, you know, why didn't you do this and why didn't you do that? First choice, like, obviously you don't have chaos unfold in your life, but when you're guided, is like, listen to the guidance, listen to that, you know, trust and have faith. And I was listening to a book. No, I was listening to a YouTube video, middle of the night. Sometimes I wake up, and usually I wake up and it's Wayne Dyer, Wayne Dyer's video it was. And he was talking about him giving up everything. And he was on stage doing his talk, change the way that you look at things, and then change the way that you look at things, and then life changes, however he says it. When you change the way that you look at things, the way that things that you look at change. And he said he was stood on stage without any shoes, and people like looking at him like he's crazy. And he's like, this feels like a sacred place to me. And he gave up everything and he moved to Maui. Right, he went to stay in Maui. He like literally got rid of everything, all his material things, because he was detached. And I'm like, you know, when you hear what you need to hear, when you need to hear it, I literally gave away everything. And I know that it's my path. But when you're in like that eye of the storm, and you're like, oh gosh, you know, will this transpire for me? Will this work out? And that's what my friend was saying. And I said, you know, you're an absolute badass, and you know, I admire you. You've done amazing things. You're doing amazing things, right? So I wanted to document that journey. And so teaching again, traveling while you teach, I've never done it, right? And so when I went to go today to my brother's house, it's his grandchildren that I was fostering. I went to go see the kids, and I haven't seen them in months because I was in London. And the little one asked to see his Auntie Noni. It's like, is Auntie Noni going to come see me? And I'm just so great. I'm trying not to cry. I was just so grateful. And he was being all shy. And to say, you know, he spent a whole year with me. And when it was his bedtime, he's like, Auntie Noni, can you come up? Can you come and read me a story? Warmed my heart. Like, they've moved from environment to environment, and part of me doing what I did for the kids, their family, years ago, before I even had my daughter, I had that vision that fostering would be in my vision somewhere, but I didn't know what it would be. And so I did it, but I didn't know I would do it for family. Would I do it for family again? I don't know. Right. But part of this journey and part of being on my vision board now, and actually it was yesterday and today, I was it yesterday and today, I've got confirmation of going on some training and supporting another foster carer, because there's not enough support, and also getting involved with a charity for kinship fostering, for the organisation of that, to be in that environment is massive. But had I not have gone through what I'd gone through, I wouldn't be in the position to support someone else and give back, because I am big on, tithing my time, tithing my energy, and just getting involved. There's children involved, like that's legacy for me. And so when the universe brings you whatever it brings you, and you're like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to take that on, it is what it is. And sometimes it looks like chaos is unfolding. That's what I want to say mostly. Like traveling while I teach and teaching online, yes, I want to do that, but I do have other interests in my vision. And I wanted to just share that, because this Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, Living Intentionally, is for me first. Then it's for my students. This is streaming out in the soullegacyacademy.com. And this is like the pre-soul work before somebody comes to work with me, and then journaling. I have passive income streams, but I also want to be there for my students. And then I'm speaking to you on my YouTube channel, and then I'm speaking to you on a podcast. It's not just about marketing, especially when you don't love marketing. I love having a conversation. And so I'm like showing up on video, just having a conversation with you, So to get to go and see the kids, my daughter rocks up in her car, and I'm like, wow. So we went out for a drive yesterday. I went to go see my sister, and she's staying in the hotel up the road. And it happens to be at this time, I didn't know that my sister was coming over. I was in London. And so we happened to be in the same environment. Lucky for me that I can pick up and go wherever, in whatever environment, as long as they've got an internet connection. I've learned that obviously when I was in London, I was talking about the internet connection and it was messing up. I knew that it wasn't, even with a booster, even with what have you, it wasn't going smooth. And I don't like to force things. I like to feel the ease, grace, and flow. So I knew that it wasn't going to be an environment that I would stay in and sustain, because it was, okay, I'm not going to have the children full time. They're going to transition. I'm going to hold space until they transition. And then I'm going to work on my business. And the last 3 months, it's been very, 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 very challenging. Right. And so in terms of getting the internet, noise, etc., background, and now the environment that I'm in, being able to teach online and be able to record all day. Although I've gone out and I said to my daughter, look, I've got to record. I've got deadlines. I went out yesterday and I'm like, oh, hang on. It's about making memories. And she said, I don't know what you're doing, but you are busy between this time and this time. She's coming for me. And I said, thank you. Because being a spiritual entrepreneur and teaching online and starting your business and doing all the things, you can then spend hours and hours and hours, because there's always so much to do. When you're self-employed, there's always something to do. My daughter, she's 20. She knows me well enough. She's like, look, this is important. And so when it was my birthday, I was like, look, it was my 50th in August, transitioning out of having the children at the end of July. And I was like, look, I've got stuff to do. And she's like, no, birthdays are important. And then we went to, she took me to Amsterdam for like 4 or 5 days in that environment. I had that on my vision board. And it manifested just a few days after. And I was like, oh, okay, there's something to this. There's something to the vision board. And so she knows me well enough. She knows, I put in the hours, I do the work. But at the same time, it's like, no, your life is not all about that. So we went to go see the kids. So she rocks up in her car, and now on the way back, in that environment, in the car, because like my brother's like, oh my gosh, my daughter's driving, and my sister's like, oh my gosh, my niece is driving. It's just really weird for them. I was like, how do you think I feel? But it's amazing. So on the way back, she was playing. I said to her, you know, this is my content. Whatever happens for me, like high vibing, raising our vibrational frequency. I love music. I love dancing. When he said to me, "And Noni, you're going to come out dancing with me on at the weekend," I was like, "No, you don't want your Auntie Noni going with you." And she's like, "I do." I was like, "Okay, so that's the environment I'm going to be in at the weekend, making memories as well as doing my work in the world. It feels amazing." So my daughter was playing music in the car, but she was playing my tunes, the tunes that she grew up with, like me playing in the car when she was little. It was so bizarre to be back relocated in my hometown. There's a lot of memories, like our, not necessarily a bit of her childhood, but my childhood and my dad has passed, and you know, I used to come down here. It's just really, I'm just adjusting to the environment, but it feels amazing. So she's playing the music in the car, driving. And I'm like, and she's, you know, we're doing all the thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I can like fully relax. I'm like trying to watch the road for her and do all the things. But I said, it was amazing. It was really lovely. She even stopped the car to like, before she turned it down, coming down this street, you know, because it needs to be quiet. It's like not late at night, but late enough, just to carry on dancing. And I was like, what are the chances? I said, this is how it felt for you when you were little in my car, because I used to have the music up loud and we'd be singing. And that's what she's used to. I'm like, how would you have it so loud? But I do. I have my music really loud in that environment. So raising my vibration and raising your vibration. What have you done today? How do you feel? On the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, we rate our vibrational frequency based on each of the seven freedoms, right? So I'm talking about the environment. I'm noticing, okay, from last week to this week. So by the way, I'm at 11. Last week, I think I was at 9 for my environmental freedom. And I was like, I'd taken a picture, like a selfie, the week before, 2 weeks. So the beauty of living an intentional life and tracking your own journey, you don't waste a minute. Like you know, like when you're like, oh gosh, where's the year gone? It has gone quite quickly, but I know. So the Thursday before, I was taking a selfie. I was out in nature doing the things. I was like with a soulmate connection. I'd matched on Bumble, and you know, we've known each other for like 3 years or what have you. And he messaged today as well. No, yesterday, and it was just a really nice experience, and recording there, and just, you know, teaching wherever I am and having the freedom to do that. And then, you know, the next Thursday, last Thursday, I was like laying in bed and I was just like, I don't even know if I'm going to get up today. Not because I was super down, but just the vibration and the environment. I'm like, I don't think I can stand it. I need to do my work. And I, you know, this week visiting my niece and my sister-in-law, staying with my sister-in-law, I shared a picture on my Facebook, and you know, just a bowl said, "Love is, what is it? Love is where love makes a house a home." And I'm like, yeah, from that to here, in the lack of love and self-love and compassion and kindness, I don't vibe with that environment. It's just not me. And so to be here, to have that contrast and to be here, I appreciate it so much more. I really do. And I don't feel like I'm someone that really takes things for granted, but I really, 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 really appreciate it. So I'm really grateful. So sometimes the universe gives us that contrast, you know, and seeing everybody's like, you know, how you doing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm good. Like wherever I go, I'm good. And I look like a crazy person. I've always looked like a crazy person. We do when we want to do something that's not the norm, that's not taught in school. But the book that I've been reading, The Habits, we need to have the habits of, as Stephen Covey says, is highly successful people, but have the habits of the version of you that's on your vision board. So it's making those decisions that, you know, are in alignment. And being in this environment, it just feels amazing. So we rate our vibrational frequency. How do you feel today? Do you feel in soul funk, or do you feel in soul flow? Do you feel like your vision is unfolding for you? Do you feel like, oh, have you done a vision board? Right, I have a 7-day, spiritual business vision board challenge, which I share with my students, but I share on the Soul Legacy TV. It's a free 7-day challenge. I'll leave the details in the show notes and the description, and also in the cards on the YouTube channel. And that vision board challenge, literally everything begins with a vision. Your mind works in a vision, and they say that without a vision you kind of perish, and without the brain thinks in images. Without being clear on what it is that you want to experience, the universe doesn't know what to send you. And when it looks like the universe is sending you almost the complete opposite of what it is that you want, it's not. So I went to London, and then I was like, well, that's kind of it. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back here. You guys are not going to see me anytime soon. Come back. I'm like, oh, wow. But I've seen my daughter twice already this week, which I haven't seen her for months, and I'm going to see her on Sunday. We're going to have a family get together in an environment, and I'll talk about relationship freedom on Friday. But knowing that all of the hardship, all of the struggle, all of the things that I've gone through this year, over a year, no matter what, who I see myself as is the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy. And, whatever it is that you're doing, you having a vision is what will get you through. That's what's got me through. Like, this is why I talk about living an intentional life and setting a vision for freedom and being in alignment with the value of freedom. Somebody just sent me a message on Bumble. I'll talk about that on relationship. I'll talk about that tomorrow. And it's called Soul. And, having the value of freedom, what I wasn't getting before, I've got now. So I'm really grateful for that. So if you haven't done your vision board challenge with me, then, check it out. It's pretty cool. I want to express gratitude. And the way that we do that on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast for spiritual business success, for spiritual entrepreneurs, traveling while we teach and being in an environment where it supports you. I know that many people do come to me and they don't necessarily have an environment that is supportive. And I know the struggle of it. I know that when you're working and you're not doing the job that you want to, I know caring for others, like sometimes we've got commitments, but we've got to be grateful for what we've got now. Because vibrating at a different frequency is not going to manifest that. So we're raising our vibration no matter where we are. So I invite you to do gratitude with me. You might have a gratitude journal, you can write it out. I tend to speak mine out now because this is my video journal. And so the Seven Freedoms Frequency way of doing gratitude is to say, I'm happy and I'm grateful. I appreciate whatever it is. And we're going to fill in the blanks and bring in all of the 7 areas of your life. Every single day, we're raising our vibration and we're noticing around what we are grateful for, whether it's in the past, present, or the predicted future on your vision board. And I use this gratitude stone, a rock. My daughter gave me a love heart years ago when she was little. And so we'd said gratitude for years. And I used to say gratitude with my soulmate and my twin flame in that relationship. We'd pass it, and then I gave him a gratitude stone, the other one that my daughter gave me, and we'd just in a relationship or in with your children or whatever, you just saying it out loud. It's just a really, really lovely feeling just to say to the universe, thank you. I know that you've got me. I know that you've got my back, as Gabby Bernstein says. So we say, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate. So for contribution freedom. And this is the living intentional life. This is my soul signature system. It's called the Intentional Living Codes, and the acronym, the Cheers to Financial Freedom Frequency acronym. So we say that we're raising our vibration for the C, the contribution freedom. So I'm happy and grateful and I appreciate being able to contribute, again, for traveling while I teach and teaching online, for having a site like Thinkific, an online teaching portal, because I started with a jigsaw box and then I went to SmartMember, which I didn't realize that I was kind of learning licensing it from someone else, and I didn't want to build my business on that. And none of those two things held this vision. But think if it just gets better and better and better. I know there's Teachable and Kajabi and different, online teacher portals, but I really do love it. I love it. And so if you're watching in there, I love it. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that. I'm grateful that I can contribute and use an online teaching portal and know how to do it. Know how to do it. I'm happy and great. What came to mind then was me thinking, okay, well, now that you're doing that, now you've got to get the emails done. And that is like, okay, I know how to do it, but I don't love it. So I'm going to get help for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate, excuse me, health freedom. My health, just being healthy. And so we talk about mental health, environmental health, social health, spiritual health, physical health, emotional health. I would say I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my emotional health. Going through a spiritual awakening and going through a dark night of the soul and through burnout was huge. So my emotional health is huge. So I'm happy and grateful and I appreciate emotion. It's okay, love. My niece is like trying to be quiet. She's apologizing. So this environment I'm super grateful for. It's Environmental Freedom Thursday in my world. Beautiful. So, and you're helping, So I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate emotional freedom is next. It's all right, love. Emotional freedom, that love, that level of love. Just seeing her smile is just magnetic. Like, I was saying that when I gave up my home, I was like, who can I give my car to? And I looked down and I looked up and I was like, oh, and I thought of my niece. And so I was like, have you got a text her and said, have you got a car? Like, you want a car? And she's like, how much and whose is it? I said, mine and for free. And she's like, oh my gosh. And I knew the look on her face. I knew it. And I could see it. And then she sent a picture to me of a great big smile. She's absolutely beautiful. She's stunning. And she just did that smile again. So I'm happy and grateful for smiles, like that emotional freedom. Just a smile is really magnetic, isn't it? Right. So I'm grateful for the present, right? I just got a really beautiful smile. So I'm happy. And everything that happens for me is content, right? It's living intentionally. It's content. I always say to everyone, this is content. Like whatever we're doing, I'm like content. But it's about having a conversation. They don't mind. They're used to it by now. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate environmental freedom. That I was able to go and visit the children and my daughter picked me up. I literally got taken door to door. I'm happy and grateful for that. And in a high vibe way, and watching my daughter just navigate her way through life I'm really happy and grateful for that. Like she's amazing. She's amazing. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate relationship freedom. So I am happy and grateful for the relationships that I've had in spirit for family, because of those of you who don't know me, my son passed 8 years ago, and being in this environment in my childhood where I grew up and then I brought him down here when he was almost 5. He grew up here and he went to the school and there's so many memories that are triggering. My daughter and I, we just drove past where we always used to go for dinner with myself and my ex-husband and the kids, and my son used to go to the skate park, and I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that. Being a mama and having him for almost 20 years is just amazing. I'm really super happy and grateful for that. I remember the time it took me probably, I don't know, it might have even taken like a couple of years for me to be able to say gratitude again after he passed. So I'm happy and grateful. I appreciate you, little man, my little big man. I know that he's giving me signs and I know that he's guiding me, and I haven't really said a lot out loud. Pictures keep coming up, videos keep coming up, signs keep coming up. So I just want to say I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate spirituality, just knowing. one of my soul sisters was sharing her story, and that spiritual, the essence of knowing that we're souls having a human experience. I'm happy and grateful for that. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. There was something that I had in mind, and I can't remember what it is now. My finances. Oh, I was going to say that when I went to the soulmate connection, a soulmate connection, that's what I'm calling him. A couple of Thursdays ago, he came to get me, and I'm really happy because he's like, he's got it covered. And I found out today that he actually got charged. He actually got fined because we didn't pay the charges to go into London. And I did say, he said, it's fine. So he went from his environment, take me into a different environment, and he's being charged. And he's not like, you need to pay me, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm like, well, I didn't, that's not an expense that I budgeted for. So, I'm happy and grateful for that. And my niece is like, did he ask you for it? I'm like, no, I didn't. So I'm happy and grateful for that. Because I offered to pay right there and then. And he was like, no, I've got it. And this is how it's done. So I'm happy and grateful for that. Yeah, I am. So that is gratitude. So just what's going on and just noticing and just appreciating and, not taking everything for granted. And, it's just what comes to mind. I'm soul speaking into existence, and just the journey is what the journey is. I'm going to look back and say, oh my gosh, I remember when. And so I'm able to do that, and I want to share that with you. I'm looking at my notes, and I tend to write things down and I end up covering it anyway. So I'm happy. No, I've done that. The next segment is how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. And I'm going to bring in the book for that, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and how to make a new habit. So traveling while you teach and teaching online, you're going to need a lot of discipline when you're at home. And, you can be going off and doing this different thing with this different person and blocking out your time for working. If you're caring, or you're doing other things, or you've got a different job, it's actually those times that you need to know how you're going to launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day, especially when you're moving into different environments. And if you're just working from home or you want to work from home, it does take discipline. I've done this since 2008, 2009, so it's not new for me. But like when I'm moving, this is new to move into different environments there. I've got to have that solid routine to be able to make the business function and to do, well. And so I'm building those things up. So I'm developing my habits, and the more I develop my habits, the more that wherever I go, my habits and my routines stay the same for the most part. But different environments, people wake up at different times, people go to bed at different times, people eat at different times, there's so many different things. I'm in a dining room, I'm visiting my niece, and the fridge is in here, right? So it's a big massive fridge, and so she's coming in and out because that's her environment. This is her home. And so it's adjusting to wherever you go. So as I build the business, so I can travel and go abroad, and there's certain things that I've got to do, and recordings that I've got to do before I go, and all these things on the desktop on my Mac. But preparing for that and preparing for that vision, I can then teach it. I can then share what that is. So how I launch my day, lead my day, and leave my day. I have a certain vision, and I feel that already. And that's what you do as you manifest it. But you've got to have the habits. So James Clear talks about that. Say if you want to create a new habit, he talks about a morning routine. But say, like I was saying, like I've not quite mastered it yet. Like I've got the book and Make It Happen, and I want to read it at night, and I've changed my environment. So it's like, wait, when you wake up, put that on your pillow, ready for the nighttime when you go to bed. It's like, when I do this habit, then I will do that thing. But when you're in a different place, things are not as organized. And I'm a very organized person. So I'm like, okay, like coming into a different environment and placing things and, what I've got. I'm living it in a suit out of a suitcase, and do you know what I mean? It's like it takes a little bit of a while to adjust, and I'm getting used to that. And like when I do travel and having even less and even less, I'm like, oh my gosh, So you supporting me, like my gratitude stone when and then pulling a card, and there's certain things. I love my books. I'm not going to be able to travel with all the books I really love. I love Audible, which is fortunate for me. So there's different things how I see my day, and I'm adjusting. It's been a few days for the relocation, but just my feeling, how I feel, and my thoughts, and being more expansive, because when you're in an environment that is not as supportive as you'd like, I've had to adjust my routine, like going to the loo in the night and flushing the toilet, and that not being a problem, and just the little things that I'd learned to adjust and learned to be quiet. My niece is like, want to be quiet, and I don't mind that at all. I said, I'll just bring it into the content. It's fine, but having to be quiet and dumb my voice down, and do you know what I mean? It really affected me. I'll be honest. My niece is like, well, I said, I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm grateful. She's like, well, tell the truth. And I said, yeah, I know, I can't not. But it's helped me to be more grateful for now. And everybody lives differently, and having the financial freedom, being able to contribute. I know if I'm not contributing, I'm not receiving the financial freedom in the way that affords me to go to Dubai. You've got to earn a certain amount a month for a certain period. I think it's 3 months or something like that before you can be let into the country on a spiritual digital nomad visa. Do you know what I mean? There's certain things that when you make plans and you've got them on your vision board, you still want to look up, is what I teach. And so that moves us into the next segment of what are the 1 to 3 action steps, soul guided action steps that you need to take in order to make that vision happen. So we're talking about environmental freedom. So I've got to have the habits to build my business, to reach out, to speak and do the things, and to teach online, and to enroll, and to get really good at enrolling, so that my light work actually affords my lifestyle. Right. And my niece was saying, she's got a business, and I was saying that, she'd done this, she's done it for like 7 years. I remember when she had her little case, never did she imagine that she'd build a business, and she's running her home. I'm super proud of her. She's like, I'm proud of myself. I'm like, well, you should be. But those are the seeds, that little case that she had, and the desk that she bought, and the whatever, she had to take those action steps to align with that. And here she is. And so you'll have to take your action steps to align with that. I've scheduled out my business for 7 years. It's funny, the sevens always come up. So what will you do to launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day? So for me, for my environmental freedom, it is just adjusting, and being more organized, and setting times for different things. Times to wake up and leave, and to come and do my work, and times to leave and go to my sister-in-law's, and I'm staying there, and just it's adjusting to the environment, but staying true to the course and the path, right? So building an environment where I'm calling in my soul tribe feels amazing, and I'm just really grateful for that. Being able to teach online and to be able to reach people all over the world, having faith for that is massive. So the soul income game is the next segment. So the banking 50K in 50 days challenge. I talked about the vision board challenge, and because we do each area of your life, or our lives, in the 7 freedoms frequency, a living intentional life, we set the vision of freedom for your life, and we live in alignment with our values, right? And again, why I moved, environment relocated, is that environment wasn't in alignment with my values. This is in alignment with my values because it's family, right? And so the vibration needs to match. And so when we're contributing, oftentimes as spiritual entrepreneurs, and we're traveling, we want to travel, we want to teach online, we're not okay with always receiving the money for our gifts. It's like, well, I can get paid for my services. Yes. So the bank 50K in 50 days challenge and playing this all income game is making it fun. I often say that my values like need to come into my business and come into my work, and I love having fun. So my daughter, like driving and dancing and what have you, is like it's a car journey. A lot of people get road rage, and all that. We're just busy playing the music, having fun. So bringing fun into contributing and then receiving financial freedom, I wanted to do that. So this was my way. So I say that this journal, the Soul Legacy Journal, because I'm the founder of the soullegacyacademy.com, is a journal that gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day in a vibrational money voucher. And that's one of the reasons why I come live, because we're focusing on that, on all of the areas of our life and spending our vibrational money voucher. And so I say it's 365 days of your spiritual awakening story daily. If you don't manage your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, they will manage you, right? And so I say this is a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. You're doing your light work in the world. You've got to manage yourself, because your mind, the mind is a funny thing. The mind will try and protect you. The mind will tell you stories. The mind will absorb the illusion, right? If you let it. You've got to train the subconscious, the conscious mind, right? So moving from that poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness, and knowing that you are worthy of having all the things in between. And so one of the environments that I went into was the Millionaire Mind Intensive. And I broke this arrow at the Millionaire Mind Intensive, and it says, I am not worthy. That's the belief that I broke in that environment. In the Millionaire Mind Intensive, I was supposed to go to the one in person in London, and I kind of felt like I wouldn't be going. And I've signed up for the one online again, and the hybrid. And so I will be in that again. So, the Millionaire Mind, I remember when I went there the first time 11 years ago, I had no clue. Like, I didn't do any, like, I was homeless, and I just split up from my ex-husband. And no, I just moved to the homeless place from my home, and I was £140,000 in debt. It was crazy. I had no clue. I didn't know what my purpose was. I'd started my coaching program. I bought a coaching program in the box. It was called a prosperity. It's about prosperity and prosperity consciousness. And I share that because that was my journey, moving from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. Now, as a spiritual digital nomad, it's trendy to live in a camper van or like travel around the world while you teach. It wasn't the look back then. I wasn't set up and sorted, but I wanted to work online, right? So the Soul Income Game, this Soul Legacy Journal, gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day for you to spend on your vision. Now, there's rules. So you tithe 10%. To a worthy cause. The worthy cause that I tithe to is Compassionate Friends. It's a charity for bereaved parents, because I am one. And I tithe my time, my energy, and my money, which I love. And so it's a worthy cause, whatever worthy cause that you want to tithe to, and you want to tithe to. When you have that money coming in and you're banking 50k in 50 days, you're thinking of the places that and who you be when you have that. Right. So with the Soul Income Game, and you're doing the bank 50k in 50 days, when you come to my masterclass, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass, I will share with you how to build a business model around that, not just like dreaming and wishing and thinking all of these things on your vision board, but actually building the business that's in alignment with that. And the alignment that you sorry. Now, you wouldn't have got the joke, but if you'd have seen what I just caught at the corner of my eye, there's a dog coming in. Thank you, beautiful. It's fine. It's more content. My niece is trying to be quiet, I don't know what she got out of the fridge to drink, but the little dog's like coming in, like pattering in. She's like, it's later than normal because I'd gone out, so it's absolutely fine. I love it. This is life. There's a lot of laughter. There's a lot of laughter in the home. There's a lot of consideration. And so, like I say, where I was, it was contrasting. It was like, I don't mind, but really I do. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, I don't mind. It's just, it's her home. So, so all bills are covered. whatever your expenses are. And if you're in the Soul Legacy Academy, what we'll do is actually break your expenses down. And one of the things that I did was like just blow up all of the expenses. I'm like, well, the cost of living has gone up like crazy. And so it's like, okay, well, what do I need to do? And what is this bank 50K in 50 days about? What is it going to cover? So you want to actually tell the universe, hey, this is what I want to experience in my life. Like, you actually go and look up the things that are on your vision board. Like, they might have changed in pricing compared to when we went to Amsterdam. It was one price and then it just jumped, it tripled. I'm like, wow. So you want to actually go and spend the money, the vibrational money, but come from the space that everything is done. Like, everything on your vision board, it's done in the present. I'm about to book my holiday, and then visualize yourself being there, doing that. It's done, right? Excuse me. That's what that's going to do. It's going to alter your vibrational frequency, and then you watch the miracles happen. So all of your bills are taken care of. You're not saving, you're not hoarding it. All that is taken care of. Taxes are taken care of. Everything's done. Everything's just running along swimmingly. And so when you're doing the Bank 50K 50 Days challenge, if you don't feel like, oh, well, I can do it like every single day, on Financial Freedom Sundays, where I will spend all of my vibrational money, I tithe 10% every single day. And we have in the Bank 50K 50 Days Soul Income Game Facebook group, we have a private student community as well. But in the Facebook group, there's a space for you to do that. If you want to play this game with me, go through your vision board challenge. It's free. And then come and journal with me and visualize, really visualize, buy, purchase the things. Like, it's free. It's free, like, to do that, to play the game, but it's free to raise your vibrational frequency, no matter what's going on for you. Like, I'm in different environments and I'm like, this can either make me or break me. Damn straight, it's going to make me. Like, there's, when you have a vision and you up level, oftentimes there's a gap. And there's a video that I posted on my Facebook by Dolores Cannon saying the universe, you're being tested, and challenges and obstacles will be there. And you've got to hold that vibration consistent. No matter what you're seeing in front of you, you hold that vibration as consistent as possible. We do dip. That's why we're rating our vibrational frequency and we're checking in each area of your life. And we want to hold that consistent as possible. We do dip and we're okay with that. We're going in self-funk, self-flow. That's fine. But noticing, and then noticing what's going to raise your vibrational frequency without the circumstances needing to change, right? Part of me having the environment is manifesting my barn conversion. I'm like, it's time, right? So the Soul Income Game, banking 50K in 50 days, that's where it came from. I wanted to earn 600,000 pounds in a year. So I was like, I charge in dollars. It's like, okay, well, it's 50K a month. And so then it just said 50K in 50 days. I think I'd done 100K in 100 days, the Hell Yeah Challenge by Suzanne Evans. And then I did another challenge, 50K in 90 days or something like that. So I was like, okay, bank 50K in 50 days. It sounds cool. I did a tapping by, what's her name? Margaret Lynch, for tapping for 50K. And so it just worked. So, play the Soul Income Game with me and you're on. And if you're leaving comments somewhere that I can't see them, I can pull them up if they're on Facebook or YouTube. Don't know about Twitter, actually. I'm going to have to have a look at that. But I know that I'm getting views on Twitter as well. So wherever you are, welcome. Thank you for joining me. The next segment is the card and the book. Well, I talked about the book, Atomic Habits. As you are visualizing on your vision board, who would you have to be? What thoughts, feelings, and habits do you need to actually start to implement in your life in order for that to happen? Who would you be? Yes, the vibration of it. And if you change your thoughts, you change the way that you look at things. The way that you look at things will change. The things that you look at will change. Wayne Dyer. But you do need to have different habits. It's just, if you're going to up level, it's going to require you doing different things. So 2 cards from Keepers of the Light today. This one was first. It is White Eagle, and I believe it's for me and it's for you. My ring light is like stopping you from seeing that. Ancestor Spirit. I've been feeling that a lot. Relocating and being in this environment, I felt it a lot. Like my dad raised me here when he had me. I lived with my mum, but I used to come down. So, and a lot of, and his brothers and just family. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. So I went to go and see the children that I fostered. And I know that, and my sister-in-law says, how much has happened to our family in this last year? But we're still family, we're still pulling together, and we're coming together on Sunday. I'm really looking forward to it, because you know how families are, and sometimes as light workers, we feel like we're the odd one out sometimes, and like a little bit crazy compared to the rest of the family. And maybe that's true, but I still appreciate family, and I would do anything for family. Faith is the next one. So this card pulled out, and then this card popped out. So humanity and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. And I think I really needed to hear that today, because getting asked that question, I talked about this at the top of the hour, or the top of the podcast, is being asked, why did you do what you've done? Why did you give up your home? Why did you give up everything? Why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And we can do a lot of things, right? And so what's on my vision board and what is for me will manifest for me. It won't pass me by. It's what one of my friends says. And it's like, okay, well, might look like chaos and craziness to you, and it does feel like it sometimes, but staying calm, right? I invite you to stay calm. Whatever's on your vision board, it doesn't always manifest like in straight lines. Success, I talk about spiritual business success, it doesn't always manifest in a straight line. So stay calm, trust the good in yourself and in others, see the light in the world. And that's what I'm choosing to do. See the light, and be around people that feel like sunshine. So hopefully you've enjoyed this podcast. I know that you're on and you've come in the middle of it. You can watch the replay. I will be back on for Relationship Freedom Friday. I will leave you with inviting you to come to continue on this conversation in our monthly networking call. We have a free networking call for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, the YouTube podcasting partnerships for spiritual entrepreneurs who have a movement. So if you have a movement inside of you, I want to hear from you. I want to call in my soul tribe and jump on this monthly call. It's on the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. The link will be in the show notes, in the description. Do share that out. Invite a fellow spiritual entrepreneur in. And we're coming together to co-create, collaborate, and cross-promote, and just have a conversation with like minds, because I know that being in different environments and being around family, like I isolated myself. And as you're going through a spiritual awakening, often we find ourselves isolated and misunderstood and misheard. I'm not saying for everybody, but that can happen. And so I wanted to create a space for Soul Family and Soul Tribe to come together, because you're not crazy and you're not alone. And, you are a light warrior, living lantern, light bearer. And it is our place to share our voice and shine our light in the world. And we are born to serve. And it just, the soul says, this is our calling. We're called to serve in whatever way that is for you. And, I want to hold space for that. So I invite you to come onto the monthly call. Root for others will be rooting for your success. I'll be rooting for your success. Root for other people and see, and build each other up, not break each other down and compare and say, you're doing this, I can't do this, or you're doing this and I feel some type of way, whatever. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. So I'd love to continue on the conversation with you. So also, if you're in the Soul Legacy Academy and you are one of my students, this 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is a follow-on from my vision board challenge, and I journal daily. And then I have a 2-hour monthly coaching call called the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call Engine. So it literally is we get on a group coaching call and have laser coaching, coach you through raising your vibration, anything that you're stuck in. And that's why I walk my talk, because I can coach through raising your vibration. Oftentimes you know the answer anyway, you're just not doing it, right? So it's a way to hold you accountable for each month. That happens on the first Monday of the month as well at 3 p.m. UK time. So if you are a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, make sure you're scheduled on that. Boot campers and masterminders, that's my gift to you. It's $77 a month. I gift a year. Masterminders, just get it for however long you're in the mastermind, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. But for boot campers, definitely, because I think that lifestyle and that life work balance as you travel while you teach online, it's huge. You know, many YouTubers don't know how to monetize the channel. Many people get burnt out when they're online. Many people are building a business model that's a job that requires them to be there every minute of the day rather than that freedom. So I say the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast for a reason. So thank you for joining me. I can see that you're on. Don't be shy. You know, I'm here to serve you. You know, when I hop off, like, leave me a comment or come into the community, take some action. I challenge you to do the vision board challenge. Let me know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success. Give this a thumbs up or a heart or a like or something, because watching me or watching anyone online and not participating, you're spending your time with me. So I challenge you to really be brave, right? Really shine your light and spend time doing things that are very intentionally. And again, if you're commenting somewhere where I can't see comments, and I say this like, because if somebody, usually people will comment then, but if it's someone like, I'm going, well, if you're my ex-husband, just comment anyway, because he was watching me. I'm like, what are you doing watching me? So, you know, whoever you are and wherever you are, thank you. Thank you for doing what you do and spending this time with me. So that is it for the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast. It's 55:55. Yay! And I shall see you for tomorrow for a Relationship Freedom Friday. Invite people into the community, invite people onto the call. I want to grow this network because it matters to me. Right, I shall speak to you soon. Take care.